All right. Let us get this going. Hey, how you doing? This is Lauren from Black Nerd Swag giving you another review of House of the Dragon on HBO. Just got through finish watching the latest episode, and I think I need to go back and watch some things on that episode because I suspect something and I might have missed it, so I think I need to watch some pieces of it back. So that's it's one of them episodes. Okay, so we go through. Damn, who do I even start with? Jeez, I don't even know who to start with. So much crazy stuff happened in this episode. Um, all right, let's start with Damon. Okay, because that's our everyone's favorite bad boy. As crazy as his behind is, we actually meet who he's married to. Okay, and he finally comes back. He hasn't been back in the veil for God knows how long. It's confirmed that by his wife that they never consummated the marriage. So she's like making jokes and japes at him, and he's looking kind of hapless. When he doesn't have any of his armor on. He just has in all in gray and his cloak. And she knows it's him. She's like, "Oh, now you finally coming back? Hey, your brother finally kicks you out." And she's going a little back. You know, kind of rolling the dozens on him a little bit. Which, when Damon doesn't say anything, you should be concerned. So if you don't know, listen, listen. When Damon Targaryen allows you to keep making fun of him and he don't say a damn word, his face is neutral or even potentially smiling, you should be concerned. Unfortunately for her, she realized it a little too late and he wound up frightening the horse that she was on when she finally realized like, oh shit, this motherfucker gonna try to kill me. And she wasn't quick enough to protect herself, and the horse went up and fell backwards with her on it, and I think broke her neck, so she couldn't really move. And so at first I thought he was gonna leave her out there because he walks off, and then she's like, she can't remove. She said, "Oh, I knew you were a coward. You couldn't do it." And I'm thinking, oh shit, he's gonna just leave her out there to get eaten by God knows what. No, that's not what he does. Homeboy picks up a rock and bashes her head open, her head and her head in, and everything else. So that's the end of his wife. So that's how that is. Little Damon thing. Spoiler alert. Like I said, if Damon walks towards you and don't say shit and allows you to continue to insult him, you should be afraid. Some screw shit is about to happen. So it sure did. Anyway, um, in this episode, you get Rhaenyra going to meet her future husband, Sir Laenor, but first they actually have to propose the marriage, or her father does. And we see that the king is not in good spirits in terms of his health. We can see him continuing to have this decline, and it's getting real nasty and all sorts of stuff, which just looks real bad. We also see finally Sir Otto Hightower leave and his daughter try to stop him because she doesn't know. And then Daddy tries to wake her to fuck up to what the real situation is, and you see that go back and forth. And pay attention to these things because that's when you're going to start to see the changes in Allison and how that carries on throughout the rest of the series and particularly the rest of the story. Because there's 8 episodes in this, and we're going to episode 6, so we have 2 more episodes, and I suspect the king is going to die this season, and then season 2 is when we're going to get the rest of the Dance of Dragons. That's what it seems like. That's clearly what they're about to do. And so you see his sickness, and they keep emphasizing. You see other things that's going on with him, and it's not looking good. And yeah, so but the highlight of this episode really is the pinch of hope that this arranged marriage between uh, the princess and Sir Laenor actually might work out. She clearly knows that he is gay. Um, that is not as really a secret. And he knows or has told her, or she has revealed that she's has someone else that she's into, that she has her own lover. And they make a thing like, hey, listen, let's do what we got to do for our dads and our houses. But after that, you got your lover, you go do your thing. I'm gonna have my lover, I'm gonna do my thing, and this will go smoothly. And it seems like there's hope. It seems like there was hope, and it's like, okay, well, this crazy shit actually might work out. And then we see the guy who's Lenore's lover, his boyfriend, and how he's like, you know what, she's okay. He's like, dude, she's cool with it. We gonna do what we got to do. Make them babies, but me and you could be with me, and we could. This is the perfect way. It couldn't be more perfect. So it seems most of that, but unfortunately, Sir Christian Cole and her have a heart to heart, and I don't want to give too many details away. And then Sir Allison, or Sir Allison, excuse me, Allison, the Queen. Her father's words keep ringing in her mind, so she starts to do a little investigating, and someone had a confession, and everything just go downhill from there. It just go downhill like damn. I mean, it started off like I said. It seems like I was like, wow, they're gonna try to make this ish work here. It seems like yeah. And then we have the banquet. The banquet. So they have this huge banquet. Invite everybody to this banquet, and it's supposed to be the banquet, celebration of the marriage that's coming. And they got all the food, and people are showing off, and then some folks unexpected come by, and you'll have to watch that because I don't want to reveal too much. But let's say there was a lot of mess in this. That's why I said I gotta watch that again because I'm like, shit, this was wild. And watching people's facial expressions. Now, look, I'll tell you this. I didn't notice this in the last episode, but when I started going through some Facebook posts and memes, and people started screenshotting the facial expressions of the background folks. And so this time around, I was paying attention to the facial expressions of some of the background folks, particularly when certain people were having a conversation. So if the king was talking to somebody, if there's someone around him who's sitting next to him or behind him and they're listening in on the conversation, I will look at their facial expressions. Or if it's something to do with another character and there are other people who overhear and you see their facial expressions, I started watching that shit. Yo, that shit is comedy. You will get so much more out the scene. It's like, yo, even everybody around you know this shit is fucked up. Know it's a mess. Know there's more to what's being said in a dialogue. So I think that's interesting because I remember in a Game of Thrones when we would have really interesting dialogue between two people, especially when they were talking around each other to really cover the meanings of what they were saying. There was usually no one around them. So you really just had to focus on these two people having this roundabout conversation using innuendos to really threaten each other and whatnot. In this situation, you have other people who are sitting there and they see the ridiculousness and they see the mess and they see the problems. And people who should have potentially stepped in or said something are just like typed like that. So watching really adds some depth to what's going on. And it adds even more depth to how bad of a king Viserys was, because sometimes he was the damn background character to a conversation that he should have inserted himself into. And so you watch that. I mean, just look at certain scenes where that's happening. I promise you, you will get more out of it. Promise you. Pay attention. So the banquet don't go as well. It goes so damn bad that the marriage is pushed up to immediately after the messy, bloody fight that happens during the banquet. And just to let you know, usually when they have these marriages, it's hundreds of people there. I mean, this is the princess and the princess who is the heir to the throne, she's supposed to have a huge wedding, and that doesn't happen. They marry her and Sir Loras right after this big brawl in which someone close to Loras loses their life. And you see the dynamic of this whole situation, and it's like it's bad, and we're left on a little bit of a cliffhanger. Now I did see the preview for the next episode. They aged people up, so this is where they're doing another huge time skip. So that time skip has to be like 5, 6 years or more. Um, and I think that's the same guy. They just made him grow a beard, or not. I believe so. So it's interesting. But it was an interesting episode. There's some details I would normally would say, but I was like, you know what? Let me let you guys watch it because I got to go back and watch some of the shit that happened in there. But it was a bloody mess, and the king ain't doing well. Physically, he looked like he has one foot in the grave and one foot out. He's in really, really serious uh, bad shape. So, um, you know, it's getting closer to the Faithful Dance with Dragons. But, I wasn't sure how he was going to speed things up this season. There's definitely going to be a season two because there's a lot of stuff that happens during the dance that could be another 8 episode season. So I think that this story will be a minimum 2 episodes will be excuse me a minimum 2 seasons. I don't see it being a third season unless they let season two actually ride out a bit more and save some material for season three. I mean, I don't know if they plan on doing this all the way to the point where um, Rhaenyra dies, which they can do. Which they can do if they do the full dance of dragons. That which is if you're looking for the storybook versions of this, that's what it is. But if they do the full thing, then we can get to 3 seasons. But it depends. Like I know at the end of this season, definitely Viserys will be dead. There's no doubt in my mind that he will be dead by the last episode. Um, I'm pretty sure of that. In terms of the official start of the actual war, they may end it at the next 2 episodes, and the third season is the start of that war because that war lasts for years, and quite a few people get killed in the most horrible ways. So it will be interesting um, to watch that play out in the next 2 episodes. But it's this episode, just messy things happen, messy things happen, but fun things. In terms of a viewership, this was a really interesting episode. So I need to go back and watch pieces of it 'cause I was like, what? And I rewatched a couple pieces of it, but I feel like I need to go watch certain pieces starting after a certain point and just watch that slowly again. But I really enjoyed this episode. It was action packed. It was like there was a bit of hope, and hope got plucked out the sky, baby. It got plucked out the sky. So I really did enjoy that part of the episode. I am eager to see what happens in the age up, in the time skip, and to see how that all plays out and everything else. So, until next time, I will see you next week, next Sunday after the show, to review episode 6. So, I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Until next time.